In today's big interview, Gayton McKenzie, the co-founder and head of the Patriotic Alliance. Well, Mr. McKenzie, you are in the news at the moment. Many people angry with you for putting the ANC back into power in Johannesburg. But I'd like to start the conversation back in 2013 when you decided to, with others, to form the Patriotic Alliance. And maybe just to frame this for us, you have been in jail. You spent 7 years of a 15-year sentence for armed robbery. So you know what's going on that side. And at the time that you formed the Patriotic Alliance, the story was that you didn't feel enough was being done about gangsterism in the Western Cape, and that you wanted, from your own experience, to do something serious about it. Is that still what drives you? Is that what gets you up in the morning nowadays?
Well, thank you so much, Alec. Thanks for having me. Well, that is what's driving me, what drove me in the first place. It's still driving me because the problem is just getting worse. But that's not the only thing. There's so many other things that we pick up along the way about the country. There was a Western Cape issue, but yeah, that still drives me.
And what you certainly haven't shirked from controversy. Your book, I mean, just the title of the book, Kill Zuma by Any Means Necessary, and remembering that this came out before the December 2017 elective conference, where everybody thought that Zuma would continue to be the president of the country. What motivated that?
You know, I just, one thing that I'm glad of is that I'm glad about is the fact that I speak my mind. I say what I want to say. The issue that you're having is everything that we said in the book is come true. I mean, the country is going to ruins. And for me, it was a case of, you look at Zuma as a person. Everybody uses Zuma as the scapegoat. Now, Zuma's not that powerful. Zuma's not the most perfect person, but you know, everything in this country, people get away with the Zuma and Gupta excuse. It's like the dog ate my homework. It is the same. Any person that is hopelessly not doing the work will say Zuma. Zuma's old. We can't still, in this day and age, well, you can blame Zuma for some things, but you can't. Everything in this country is the Guptas. It's Zuma. It is not true. They will get other people with that lie. I don't believe that lie.
But what about taking it a little step further then, the ANC as a whole? Helen Zille, who you've sparred with, calls them a criminal syndicate. Certainly Mpho Falatsi, who you let down badly, according to her, here in Johannesburg, says that they are a criminal organization. She says, sue me if you want, ANC, but that is the truth of it. You, of all people, should know what a criminal organization looks like, and yet what you appear to have done anyway, and you can explain this to us, is put them back into power in Johannesburg to continue plundering.
Well, you know, people just take one-liners. Let's start with the ANC. The ANC has let this country down terribly. The ANC came with so much hope, promise, and goodwill. They've squandered that goodwill. The ANC has done none of what was the intention when they went into the struggle. They've done none of those things. The ANC has failed South Africa. Let us make no mistake about that. But I despise the fact that the people think the DA has succeeded. Go to Menenberg, go to Khayelitsha, go to Elsies, go to Hanover Park, go to Mitchell's Plain, and tell me, what is different between the DA and the ANC? Where the DA beat the ANC, where I think the DA is better than the ANC, is that the DA has looked after rich whites and rich blacks. If you go to where we are staying in DA municipalities, they've made sure their potholes are fixed. They're looking after the people on the other side of the mountain. Now, people should not impose their views on me. I look at the DA and the ANC as the same organization not caring about the people. The people I represent, most of them come from the DA. Now, people expect me to have that all-round laugh, while the majority of my constituency, current constituency, got fed up with the DA. So I can't be having that laugh. In this thing where they say I gave power to the DA in city of Joburg, that's not entirely true. Let me explain to you what happened. And this, no one can dispute this because this is a fact. I had a dinner, not even a dinner. We had coffee one night with John Steenhuisen. I said to him, John, you know what? You're going to lose Knysna because we are being underestimated there. I said to him, you're going to lose Knysna. He didn't believe me. They ran roughshod over our guys there. Our decisions were, and there's no action essay there. Our decisions were not even, they didn't even listen to us. And then we hit a firing shot in Knysna. We removed them from power. I thought at that particular moment, they will realize that when we say we will remove you, we mean it. And we went to the city of Joburg. They can blame Herman Mashaba all they like. Let me tell you, I hold no brief for Herman Mashaba. But Action SA heard the rumblings between the IFP and the PA, which is the two parties. And the IFP must be honest. They even Action SA never said IFP should take the seat. Action SA said, IFP and PA, you guys will decide who will take the seat between the two of you, of speaker. The president of IFP then spoke to me on 2 occasions, trying to convince me that they should take the seat, the speaker seat. I then came back, I said, all right, let's do this, because we also wanted to be speaker. We badly wanted to be the speaker as the Patriotic Alliance. I then realized that if these guys don't get the speaker, I told my guys, these guys want to be speaker very badly, just like us. But if they don't get it, they might leave. Let us look for something else and we give them the speaker. Got back to the IFP, I said, you guys can have speaker. We will take something else. We then wrote a letter, which I can even forward to you, to everybody. I said, listen guys, we met with the IFP, they will take speaker and we will take economic development. You guys can decide, but if you think we can't have that, let us know where you want us, what you want us to have. In the arrogance of the DA, they didn't even honor that. They sent us a lawyer's letter. We have these things. They are out there. They send us a lawyer's letter, a threatening letter. I mean, who threatens anybody during a negotiation? I am not one to lay down and be threatened and sell out my people that voted for me. I then said, okay, I wrote a letter back to Helen Zille and them. I said, you said you're taking us to court. Be our guest. Do it. We will show you. Then the morning they thought we are bluffing. The morning of the vote, when they realized we are not bluffing, they were willing to give us everything that Herman Mashaba told them for the sake of concretizing the coalition. Now, nobody speaks about the fact that we have voted with the DA. We had a choice between the DA and the ANC. We went with the ANC, we went with the DA, because I'm the only politician in this country, the only one, that came out very clearly and said, I will work with anybody. This is before the coalitions were formed. Mm-hmm. I was the only politician. No other politician said it. Helen Zille said she will not work with the EFF. And the DA said they will not work with the EFF. Herman Mashaba said, his dead body will not work with the ANC. The Patriotic Alliance, through me, said, we will work even with the AWB because we know we want power to service our people. Fast forward, Alec. The DA then, we then removed them from power. Now they are setting a very, very dangerous precedent that South Africa is not seeing. What they are doing is stupid. It is beyond, it is insanely stupid. I've never in the history of politics seen such stupidity than what Mpho Phalatse is doing at the moment with the DA. What they are doing is they are not relinquishing power. They're going to court for power. That is exactly what the ANC is going to do 2024. Mark my words. Keep it. You heard it for the first time here on BizNews. What they are doing, somebody needs to tell them, drop this case, because I can tell you now, whether it's an academic, they are trying to prove a no point here, because we're going to go back into council and vote. And I'm still going to vote with the ANC in the next one. So they got nothing to, we are the kingmakers, so they got nothing to gain. I am saying the ANC is looking at this and smiling, like, okay. Come 2024, when the ANC, and if you ever listen, if you want to know if somebody is a fool, if anybody tells you the following thing, that the ANC will get above 50, that person is an absolute political imbecile. The ANC will not even smell 40%, and I'll give you my reasons for saying that. The ANC will not get 40% in this country. Now, what hurt me is the fact that Helen Zille and Masaba are not on speaking terms. I stood with them in the first coalition meeting. And Masaba, myself, Bantu Olomisa, Herman Masaba, and Helen. Masaba put out his hand. And you know what she did? I've never seen such absolute rudeness in my life. She didn't shake his hand. You can check that with both of them. She'll deny it, but Masaba and Olomisa will say, now, do you want to tell me, South Africans that are angry with me going with it, how are you going to save the country if the two people tasked with that to lead and get out the ANC are not on speaking terms? Every day we are bombarded in the media how they are fighting with each other. Now, we must prepare for 2024 in order to be a united coalition. The only person with sense in this coalition, in my opinion, it's Corné Mulder. I don't thought I'll praise the Freedom Front Plus, but he's sensible. And anybody listening here needs to know this fact. You know, when Corné approached me to join the coalition, I was approached by Helen and John Steenhuisen. We had 2 meetings in Joburg. We couldn't find each other. We couldn't. Corné came and he gave up his MMC's position. He only had one. For the sake of the coalition, the Freedom Front Plus said, take our only one. We want you in here. They gave that up. The DA didn't want to give that up. They refused. They had 5 plus 3 in the Troika. The plus 2 in the Troika. Mayor, Chief Whip, and Speaker. And they had 4 or 5 MMCs. And they refused to give that up. The time when the DA was asked to give up 1, they refused, having so many. So Helen Zille and the DA is responsible for this. I never promised anybody I will not vote with the ANC, so why blame me for something I didn't promise? Don't hold me to anybody else's standard.
When I spoke earlier this week with Dr. Phalatse, she did say that the one thing that she knows about the PA and about you is that what you say is what you mean. And it isn't smart to assume that you're going to change your mind because of something that seems to make sense to everybody else. But just to take a step back, the fact that you have now put the ANC back into power in Johannesburg, we know the track record. We know what these guys are capable of and what they have been doing. Are you not worried that this is going to impact your chances of in 2024? The people I know in Eldorado Park are telling me they voted for you to get the ANC out. Now they perceive that you put the ANC in.
All right. Let me answer that question in 3 ways. Number 1, Eldorado Park was never ANC, it was DA. We took that wards from the DA with a 2/3 majority. Now that must tell you what they think of the DA in Eldorado Park, with a 2/3 majority. So they took the DA out of Eldorado Park. So they despised the DA. I mean, the DA went from those 2 wards and we took it with a 2/3 majority. Number 2, you know, the by-election in 2 weeks ago, a week ago, in Joburg, must give you a clear indication of 2 things. that we have grown 5 times, and this is after I took the Johannesburg decision. I'm giving you facts now, not people's anger facts, real facts. We've grown 5 times. That by-election happened a week after we took the decision. When the media was criticizing me, our party grew 5 times. The DA, and the third thing I want to say, if people must stop trying to blame the PA and ask themselves, why is it every coalition where the DA is in, there's problems? Everyone. Knysna's gone. Joburg was gone. Joburg is gone. Ekurhuleni is in ICU. Tshwane is definitely going to go. Now, somewhere it feels for us like people are scared of confronting the elephant in the room. You look at what happened with the by-election in Joburg. I went on Twitter, I told Helen, I said, I congratulated the DA for winning, and Joburg Eerste and Freedom Front Plus. Then she brought out an advert, the DA says, the DA won the award. I said to her, you have no honor. At least say thank you to Freedom Front Plus, at least say thank you to Joburg Eerste, because without them, the PA would have beaten you. 20 minutes after I said that, Corny Mulder came out. And he said, what? We were together, why don't you? Now, there's a truth in the arrogance right there at display for everybody to see. But nobody speaks about that, Alec. You know, what they must understand, coming from South Africa, we also want to play, I want 10% of the vote in 2024. And I know I'm going to get 10% as the vote as the Patriotic Alliance. We know that Cape Town is going to be, and Western Cape is going to be a coalition. We know that. And my only problem why I will not go with a DA in the Western Cape if we do get if we do go into coalition, when we go into coalition, is simply because I see this Cape independence things as initiative as absolute racism of the worst kind. It is totally not what Nelson Mandela stood for. I will make sure that car's wheels get taken off. It will not go anywhere. As the Patriotic Alliance, we will fight that thing, because in this country, we need to forget about black, white, Indian, and colored. That's the only way to build this country. We must forget about race, and now to separation is not our future. Our future is together. Now, anything that seeks to separate us, we will fight against. The ANC has flogged dead wars, and I'm going around the country and I'm getting criticized. I start every speech of mine by saying the time for white people to be blamed has expired. There's an expiry date to blaming anybody. We could have blamed white people for 15 years, but we are 3 decades into power. Singapore, Japan, Malaysia, these countries were built within 3 decades. The ANC must stop blaming white people for their inability. And people must stop voting DA. I mean, I asked my white friend the other day, Rob. I said, Rob, who do you vote for? He says DA. I said, you're such a winner. Aren't you tired of forever voting for the losing team? People vote for a team that they know is going to lose. I mean, the DA has never won the thing. So they're voting for a thing. I'm just saying that I will encourage people, you don't need to vote for the PA. You're not our constituency. Your listeners, but I'm saying to you that the DA in its current form is causing us major damage, because I spoke to leaders in the ANC. They say, no, the DA is within their right. When I heard that, I lost my appetite. We were eating, and these people were saying to me, friends of mine in the ANC, they say, no, but why are you criticizing the DA for going to court? It is their right. If we feel we were out of power 2024, we will also go to court. I'm like, anger and a love for power. Mpo Palazzi. I think she's a great person. But I'm going to be honest with you, she's an average leader for Joburg. She's good for a Knysna or a George. You need, when you come to the city of Joburg, you need a warrior there. You need somebody that takes this thing by the scruff of the neck. She should have taken the opposition benches now and held us accountable and not wanting to be in the main seat. That's my opinion, and my opinion means nothing in the DA, but I'm just saying that you don't need to go through the back door. It's a waste of time. I'm saying it right here. I am going to vote again with the ANC simply because the DA needs to be taught to respect. If they don't, this is nothing now compared to 2024. If they don't respect us now, what's Baizani? You can't. What are they going to do with us in 2024? You teach people how to treat you. We are now busy teaching the DA. And we might put them back into power. I'm saying that if they can come and show that they are a different... I mean, they fight with Action SA before the vote in Ekurhuleni. They insult each other. How do you do that? They're even scaring the people that remained with them. They are coming to us now. They say, hey, I think you want to talk to the ANC, you want to rather leave there in that coalition. Because people see that the two people that must hold Tshwane together, they attack Action SA more than the opposition, and Action SA attack the DA more than the opposition. The ANC don't attack the DA anymore. They don't attack Action SA because they're doing their job for the people. Somebody needs to put those two in a room and say, what does the English say? They say, move from the pot or do your thing, make peace or just move away. Because it's the best show for the ANC.
So if I understand from what you've told us now, Mr. McKenzie, you are wanting, you are just, the means justifies the end. In other words, after 2024, if we're going to have workable coalitions in South Africa at the top level, at Parliament, then we better learn now how to work with each other. And in particular, the DA better learn now how to work and respect other parties. Is that the thrust of of what I'm hearing?
You're even saying it better than you said. You even saying my own thoughts better than I could articulate it. That's exactly what I'm trying to say. That's exactly what I'm trying to do. If you want to move the ANC, let me make this example for you, Alec, for everybody to understand. I was at the soccer team at our school. And our principal, our school soccer coach assumed he knew, and we all knew we were going to lose the game. They knew we were going to lose the game, the final game, because we were playing against the strongest team. And he told us before the game starts, he says, I know we're not going to win, believe it or not, he did say it. He said, I know we're not going to win, but make it a respectable lose. Don't lose more than 3 goals. The game started. We scored 5 goals in the first half. 5 goals against the team. Halftime, he looked at us and he said, gents, you've won this game. For you to lose this game is totally in your hands now. How this game is going to end is in your hands. I'm saying to the DA and the Action SA and everybody, the ANC needs to go to an opposition in 2024. We have them right there where they own members. They are... As I said, people go on and on and on and on and on about the ANC. The ANC is eating itself. The members are killing each other. The members are leaving. They are fighting for positions. We are now about to get a front row seat to World War III in December. A front row seat to World War III. When the ANC is in hospital at the moment, but when they come from the elective conference, they will be in ICU. It's only the fights between Helen Zille and Herman Mashaba that can resurrect them and bring oxygen to them. That's the only thing. For 2024 for this country, I'm saying, John Steenhuisen called me a green gangster in Mitchell's Plain. He called me a green gangster. He said, you must never vote for that green gangster, that party. He didn't call me, he called me a green. The moment that was done, I understood that was electioneering. I met him, we shook hands, we even said jokes, and we speak. Sometimes we got to get over our egos. Over our egos. Helen Zille insults me whenever she's, even on your show, when she said that the PA is a one-man show and all those things. But I understand that's politics. But they have passed the stage of gentlemanship and ladyship. Somebody needs to put them in a room. Those two people, if they love South Africa, they will bury the hatchet. And when we see 2024, we can then sit as adults and say, let's move forward.
So we are in your terms of what you've explained again, at a point where we can snatch defeat from the jaws of victory. It appears very much like that, just through not having a good dose of humility all round. Just one final point. You mentioned your friend Rob Hersov. Well, Rob Hersov is your biggest fan. At the BizNews conference, he said Gayton McKenzie must be the president of South Africa. How is he feeling now, given that I'm sure a lot of his friends are saying, what? You've now funded and supported a guy who's put the ANC back into power, not just in Knysna, in Johannesburg and elsewhere? Or does he understand what your logic is, as you've explained to us now?
All right, let me first start with the first part of funding. Rob came with a very great proposal. Rob loves this country, make no mistake. He is like a patriot like I've never met in my life. Number one. Rob then came, and a few very wealthy people like himself came with a proposal to me. It was one of the best proposals I've seen of people loving the country, where they wanted to pump in millions into the Patriotic Alliance. I then respectfully declined. I sent him a mail. I said, we don't want your money. So I just want to put that one of Rob funding the PA. That's not true. So I then declined the money. Not because I love Rob. I mean, he's a very close friend of mine. But here's the issue. Rob was the angriest person when he saw I went with ANC. He called me like, what the what the hell are you doing it? What the hell? My phone can't stop ringing. I went to the business. I asked, did I ask you to I said, Rob, now you know the stray bullets I catch of the things that you say. He will say stuff, and the people that I tell them, Rob is a good guy. So we now at that stage where we made peace that we are the manufacturers of stray bullets to each other, because I catch a lot of his stray bullets, he catches a lot of mine. Rob's problem, in my opinion, is that, and I told him this, I said, Rob, you are hunting a springbok that's laying down and it's busy bleeding out. I said to him that you should concentrate more on fixing what is wrong, because he's a DA member. He said it publicly. I said, you should fix that. In fact, I said to him that there's one place where I feel that the ANC is messing up, one coalition. I said, I'm going to meet with there's another, we are in many coalitions in the country. And I said, I want to meet with John Steenhuisen Friday, which is tomorrow actually. And see how, to show you that I don't hate the DA as a party. I hate the menace. Helen Zell is one of the smartest people you can meet. She's just, for me, I think she needs emotional intelligence, but she's smart. She needs to sit down, the same as Masaba. He needs to sit down with Helen, and they need to speak and say, guys, it's okay, we don't need to love each other. And I love Rob, and Rob loves this country, and I don't know what he sees in me, that he thinks I am president, that I'm his pet for. But I'm going to say this to you about that. When he said that, he blew my cover, because nobody takes me serious, and that has been my strong point, except my own people. But people say, he's just, and Johannesburg is the richest and the biggest municipality in Africa, and this guy that some people don't take serious, we are the kingmaker there. And not only there, Knysna, you can go around. Now, my strength has always been being underestimated. Now, when a guy like Rob Hersov speaks about you, people that don't look at you normally will be like, maybe there's something there. But this is what I want to say about Rob, is that when the newspaper called me and they said, we just saw on the BizNews, I think it was Sunday Times who called me. Rob Hersov says, you should be president. What do you say about that? I said, well, I'm shocked to hear that, but Rob is probably one of the smartest people I know. And I wouldn't argue with him if I was you. And I said that to the journalist. I said, don't argue with such a smart man. He sees something. So you look at there's so many. The one thing that he did right for this country, it's a gift that Rob Hersov gave this country. It is, he has shown business people. He says, where's the Harry Oppenheimer of our time? He is the Harry Oppenheimer of our time. I mean, you look at Gareth Ackerman, he spoke up. You look at Neil Froneman, he spoke up. You look at the guy of Nedbank. People are now speaking up. They're speaking truth to power, which was a taboo. Rob Hersov came, and Rob Hersov just went for him, and people are now sitting up. He has made the ANC better, Rob, because they know he's going to come for them if what he says, they listen. They all watch BizNews, that I can tell you for a fact. Because then they know, because you bring very unconventional characters like myself to the show. So, Alec, let me tell you, I think we owe a huge debt of gratitude to Katie, because, you know, she has allowed Rob to, she's let him out of the house. and he's going to, I think I said to him, I said, your problem is you complain a lot. You complain so much. And then he said, what should I do? I said, do more. And I can tell you all the things that we have advised him to do. He went on his own tangent, and he's doing those things for this country now. And I salute him. I just want to see, is he going to do the big challenge? We had an argument about the DA being good. And I challenged him, and he's going to answer me tomorrow. We had a thing where I said, you don't know how the people in Khayelitsha lives. You have no idea. You were born wealthy. We had such a huge argument. I mean, I said to him, you were born wealthy. You have never had a day of worry in your life or stress about money. Now, do you want to speak for the people that has never had a day in their lives not stressing about money? And he says, yeah, I'm not. And I was so shocked. He just became calm. He says, you're right. Maybe I should go and live a week in Khayelitsha. I said, let's do it. So tomorrow I'm seeing him for dinner. I hope he's up to the challenge, and he will see what the people go through every day.
Fantastic. We're finding ourselves across this troubled nation of ours. We have always been blessed by our people for hundreds of years, cursed by our governors, but who knows? Maybe a better future is in prospect. Gayton McKenzie is the co-founder and the head of the Patriotic Alliance, and I'm Alec Hogg from BizNews.com.